Hello to everyone out there in Timmyland, and welcome back to another edition of the Daily Dizzle. It is Wednesday, May 9th, 2012. I am Dizzlemits himself, Tom Donardi, bringing you a couple of the headlines from the day that I found to be of entertainment. But first, of course, before we get into that, if you enjoy what you're hearing right now, it's brought to you by our good friend Optimus Chad, one of the best chip tuners on the scene today. You can go ahead and click the link above my pretty little head if you want to check out some of the YouTube videos on his account, or you can also go into the description of the video and check out the link to his Facebook. He's always putting new stuff up, and if you enjoy what you're hearing now, chances are you'll like to check some of that out as well. Jumping right in with the headlines, we were so amused to bring it to you yesterday, and thank God more news has come out about it. John Travolta, on top of accusations of one man saying during a massage that John Travolta was touching on his junk and spouting off random old school Hollywood stories about his Welcome Back Kotter days where he was doing gay favors, probably to try and seduce the dude into gay favors of his own. But another man has come forward alleging similar behavior. The blow-by-blow is pretty graphic. Butthole touching, butt massages, getting way into it, getting boners. Yeah, I know way too much about John Travolta's sexual appetite now, but there is one conclusion I can make. His wife should probably divorce him because there is no way that they have a happy marriage if this is the shit that's going on in his life. Jumping into some upcoming movie news, Illumination Entertainment has quickly established itself as one of the best animation studios today. It's only had 2 films so far, and both have been unquestionable success stories, first with Despicable Me, and then showing that they can adapt source material as well with their hit The Lorax. It looks like they're trying to redo that success, trying to bring another very popular property to box office glory. And this time, they're attempting to bring Clifford to the big screen. Now, if you had a terrible upbringing as a child and were deprived of a lot of things, like the simple novelty of Clifford, Clifford was a little red dog, just running for the puppy litter, ended up growing to the size of a fucking house. They're going to be going the Garfield route with it, using an animated dog and real people. So at the very least, it can't be nearly as bad as, like, Marmaduke. Even if they just aim for like underdog levels, that was a pretty funny movie. A lot of the kids didn't get it. It was actually more of an adult movie, so I'm hoping for one of those nice mixes where the family can go and enjoy it, and the kids might not know what's going on, but they'll just be like, "Oh, puppy!" And on top of that, Universal, they are desperate for as many franchises as they can get, as is evident by this summer's release of Battleship. They're actually looking into picking up the second installment of Kick-Ass. Of course, it was a little bit of a minor hit when it came out years ago, a little bit of an underground superhero movie. Hopefully, a second one will move forward. It will not have the original creative team involved, as Matthew Vaughn, director and writer of that, has moved on to bigger and better things like X-Men First Class. And of course, talking about superheroes this week, there's always more to talk about with the Avengers, adding on to its opening weekend record. When Monday's gross was reported, it ended up being the 3rd highest non-holiday Monday of all time, behind only Avatar, which did have at least that December holiday time, though school might not have been off, it was being talked about like no other film. And then behind that was The Dark Knight, which opening later in the summer, it had more of the advantage of more people were off during the week to be able to see that. So for it to have such a high position, that is incredible with school still in session in most places. On top of that, you add in with the 3 days that it already had, it has set a 4-day opening record. It's about 40 million ahead of second and third place, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and The Dark Knight, which were the former record holders. So if you want to argue attendance or be like, oh, but the 3D ticket prices, it's actually still doing just as good as the other movies did, which is phenomenal. So a lot of people actually got duped this morning with this huge success, being talked about all around. There was an article that came out that said, oh, Avengers 2 has been confirmed. I mean, anyone who watched, stayed 30 seconds into the credits and saw the Avengers could tell you that with the tease that they gave. On top of that, you have to understand Disney's plan. They've already announced Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Captain America 2. So it turns out that the comments were taken out of context. Pretty much, Disney head Bob Iger was just saying, well, we've got another plan in place. We've got these sequels, and then after all these sequels, we can do Avengers 2. Pretty much confirming what everyone already knew, but not officially confirming it. So, way to go, Deadline. But what has to be probably 2 of the most amusing bits about the Avenger in the last couple days. First, the Pentagon didn't think it was realistic. Oh, really? Pentagon has offered support and has given supplies, army vehicles, crap like that, to other movies like Transformers and stuff. But they only had a limited involvement with the Avengers, pretty much only helping out on one scene. They've actually gone into official reasoning, being like, the Shield organization, who do they answer to, blah blah blah, and showing just how successful Marvel can be for Disney. When all the Avengers crap had started, Disney was not owner of Marvel. It was being made by the separate companies. Paramount had Iron Man and was actually going to end up releasing the Avengers. Then you had the Disney purchase of Marvel and all of the properties, and that ended up leading to a deal that was struck before Avengers was released, that Paramount, of course, made it, but Disney was going to distribute it. That ended up paying off for them over the weekend, as when they gave the movie to drive-ins, what they'll do is, if it's a huge movie, everyone wants it, they're going to try and give them a movie that people either forgot about or no one really cares about. In the case of the Avengers at drive-ins, it was paired with John Carter. Now, while that film is still a huge bomb for Disney, by pairing the Avengers up with it at the drive-ins, the 150 locations that were showing it over the past weekend, John Carter jumped from the mid-30s range in last weekend's box office chart all the way into the top 15, grossed over 1,000% of what it did last weekend, bumped all the way up to almost $1.5 million. So, well played, Disney. In the interest of time, we're going to hold off on our review of Avengers till tomorrow. Don't worry, it's not going to be spoilery or anything like that, but it's just too good to have to try and cut around, so that's going to be something to look forward to tomorrow, and hopefully there'll be some other good news popping up before then as well. If you enjoyed our show today, but feel like we didn't hit the spot, you still got a little bit more time to kill, go ahead and check out our good friend Dave Q's show. The Q starts here. He edits a little bit more polished, so you probably are going to be more entertained by it. But go ahead and click that link above my pretty little face, and maybe he will become your favorite Latin lover like he is mine. So thanks again for making it this far. Go ahead and leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, encourage us a little bit if you enjoyed it, share it with some friends, subscribe to us, that's the easiest way to keep up, and make sure to check back tomorrow when you can get more of your Dizzle Daily. The Daily Dizzle, I'm Tommy Dizzlemits. We will see you back here then.